This Helldivers 2 situation is just getting insane. It's also very historic as the developers of this game, Arrowhead Studios, are urging people to not buy the game. We haven't seen something like that since we saw the release of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. But today I got some good news for you. Help is on the way. The developers are working around the clock to fix the game and add more capacity, but truly the game is suffering from success. So hello everyone and welcome to another Helldivers 2 video. In today's video, I want to talk about the developer in me. Sounds dirty. I want to talk about myself as a developer and the struggles of success and the forces that are at play with this game, because I stand by my recommendation for this game when I said this, and I still mean it. What's up, Noctis? Noctis says, how am I liking Helldivers 2 so far? I would rate this game as a must-own game right now. It is so both surprisingly fun, and I also, again, like, one of the things that I feel the loss of Anthem. Like, Anthem I thought was so fun, the shooting was fun, but the game just was awful. You know, I was like, and so this is not Anthem, but it's like, yeah.
I've never heard your thoughts on Anthem.
Oh man, dude. And then the only issue I had, because I think they could have salvaged it and they were working on it, but when they were like, no, we're gonna cancel the 2.0 on the release day, I was like, oh man, these guys, I mean, it is EA. I was like, it's risky. Oh so gosh, Dave. No, I'm down. I was my hubris. And as I've seen and continue to see the player numbers rise and rise and rise, which in my last video, I shared just how many people are playing on the PC version of this game. I also know that there's going to be a rising level of frustration, so I've started to see comments just like this one starting to be shared on my Helldivers 2 content. Now, I'm not trying to shame them, by the way, because it never really feels good to say, just go play something else, but it's good that they also have that mindset that when you can't play, it's nice. We live in a world with really great games right now. It's nice to go ahead and just kind of pivot and take another route, so that way you're not just building up this level of frustration when you're getting disconnected. It's not something that we want to accept, but what I hope that I can communicate into this video is what is going on behind the scenes. Again, like as a developer, what these numbers truly represent. Because if we look at the numbers right now on Steam alone, Helldivers is the number 7th most played game right now. Obviously, this is to do with hype. Obviously, these numbers are going to go up and down and ebb and flow as content rolls in and out, but it's clearly to say that this game is a success, and I think it's going to change how Sony handles it. But what kind of numbers are we looking at? A lot of people look at concurrent and they forget to factor in the hours played. You only have so many hours to game. I only have so many hours to game. This actually gives us a much more clearer picture of who is playing. Yesterday, I estimated at the high end at 1.3 million people have picked up this game and tried to play it on PC since its release. Right now, that number has actually gone up to 1.6 million. Truly, truly astounding. Obviously, this is an estimate based off of hours played. People are going to play more, people are going to play less. It's, again, just kind of a heat map, if you will. I'm not, you take that number and do whatever you want with it. That is the point. But what's also interesting to kind of push back on, maybe that number isn't as high as it is, and this isn't dogging on the game, is that players are staying logged in overnight to dodge queue times and clogging up the servers. So it sounds like they're going to be adding in an AFK timer as well, which is a good call. I think that's a good, smart plan. And overall, we see that actually happen in these kind of games and MMOs around hype moments. Now, what's going to make this game even more interesting in terms of the zeitgeist and how we communicate it and how we look at 2024 going forward is we see petitions for Helldivers to come to Xbox, which I fully support. I think these kind of games make sense to be everywhere. Multiplayer, especially live service, it seems weird to keep things off. And Phil Spencer alluded to this, but it also, I think his statement fell on weird ears. It wasn't probably the most best way to kind of communicate that. But anyway, if you guys are interested, you can go sign the petition to see if PlayStation would bring this game over to the Xbox. Then obviously the memes kick in, make Starfield a PS5 exclusive. It looks like they're almost to their goal in this case, and it was started back in June of 2023. Wow, it's so funny how things have changed. And obviously, when it's all said and done, let's talk about why these things are happening. I got 3 points I'd like to kind of hit on. PlayStation obviously supporting PC, suffering from success, kind of what's going on behind the scenes. And then when the game is good, people just want to play it. I think that in and of itself really truly kind of highlights it. So the first thing, PlayStation supporting PC, I do think you end up having a bigger PC market. One of the things that a lot of people miss in the analysis of game sales is last generation and this generation have maybe a mid-gen refresh. Last generation definitely rumored that the PS5 Pro is going to be coming out this gen. That in and of itself gets a lot of repeat buyers. So yes, they sell more consoles, but we didn't see this happen in the past with the PS2. And overall, when they did a kind of a refresh, it was a slimmed down model. With those refreshes coming into play to kind of get people to rebuy, it doesn't necessarily mean the console market has actually grown. It does to a degree. So like obviously the used game sales, and the used sales systems go out. So people who might not be able to afford a new PS5 are able to pick it up because there's more options in the market. But generally speaking, more people actually just kind of hold on to their original console and use the new console, and just hook up the old one to another TV. So it doesn't necessarily overall increase the amount of buyers out there. And I think that's why when we look at the state of consoles, why Sony is now signaling they're going to be supporting PC more and more. And it's just because outside of the PS5 Pro, yes, that's going to bring in some more sales. It's going to drive the units upwards, but price truly is kind of a barrier for entry for games. And the $40 price point for Helldivers 2 and it opening up on PC, I think has been a recipe for success. Now, clearly the game continues to suffer from it. And this isn't due to bad coding. It's actually, I think, more due to our algorithms unable to predict the need based off of social media posts and wish lists. We have those things right now to kind of predict overall what the capacity, what the demand is. However, these are just predictions. And when you get something that is both fun, like again, the game is a lot of fun, and then you factor this all together to sit down and say like, hey, what do we... how do we make sure we get the servers? Because you don't want, and what you end up seeing is if you overbuy your servers, you're just going to be throwing money down the drain. And these companies want to try to avoid as much risk as possible. It's interesting they're taking the stance of maybe don't buy the game. And that's going to be fun to kind of watch to see, because I think essentially if they are able to solve this, get the system stable, we're going to see this number continue to rise, at least for the short term, because the demand is there. Players want this kind of game, and overall I think that's a good thing. I think when good games come out, we want to support those good games, and all in all, it's just a matter that it sucks because I know it's frustrating when you can't log in and play, and it's not fun to say just go play something else. However, help is on the way. They're able to look at these numbers, and once they're able to secure and bring in additional capacity, the question is that will that capacity be able to keep up with the demand? Because as you let more people into the game, more people want to play it, and then that could bring back additional issues. Regardless, though, the good news, especially about this, especially with its success, is that even if you do get frustrated and burned out, the game is a live service game. They've got more content planned, and while they haven't shared the roadmap, and as soon as they do, I'll share it with you guys, there will be opportunities to dip in and dip out of this game all this year, and hopefully for many more years to come. But ultimately, time will tell. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got something good out of it. My name is Brian, if you happen to be new around here, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care.